Hey everybody, it's your boy 1 Foot Wyatt, and welcome back to your favorite D-tier channel, where today we'll be cruising around Springfield to try and glitch out of bounds in every level. Starting off with Evergreen Terrace, we want to head straight to the Quickie Mart. When we reach the Quickie Mart, we need to head around back. To glitch out of bounds, we need to head to this corner and position ourselves between the Quickie Mart and this fence. From here, hold the handbrake and gas at the same time. This allows us to pivot the car in place. When it looks like you're about to clip inside, let go of your handbrake and then drive right in. The gas, handbrake, and reverse buttons will be used to glitch out of every level. So once we're between the building and the fence, you can use the handbrake pivot technique to actually clip inside the Quickie Mart. I also picked Grandpa for his smaller vehicle for these glitches, though I'm not positive it's actually necessary. As cool as this may be though, this isn't all we can do at this location. If you come back to the same spot, it's actually possible to clip out onto the right side of this fence. Do the pivot technique once again, and this time you want to see your car's right side clip through the fence. When you see this, pivot the car so the rear end kicks through the fence, and then continue to reverse through entirely. There's another couple more walls out here, but they're all passable. And once we clip past them, we can drive around and even above the entire Evergreen Terrace map. We can cruise along behind the level's buildings, and of course drive through the tree line to cruise above a void of emptiness. We can drive pretty much forever out here, unless you do something like this and now you're kind of stuck tweaking out all over the place. Normally you'd have to reload, however I actually managed to get back onto solid ground somehow. There's even a huge invisible incline we can drive up, and when we do, we're so high that most of the map's unloaded. And here is a decent view of Springfield from up top. Crazy enough, I managed to loop all the way back to underneath the Quickie Mart, where I was forced back into the map. Perfect! And with that, we're moving on down the street to the Entertainment District, where we can get out of bounds immediately upon spawning. When you spawn in front of Moe's, turn right to find this Krusty Burger nearby. Head to this corner with the yellow building and the orange wall and begin reversing into the gap between them. Here's where you'll need to use a combo of the pivot technique and your reverse button. So all three buttons. Eventually, with enough persistence, we can clip through the walls and underneath the Entertainment District. I got warped back in bounds right away, so let's try that again. There we go. And just like Evergreen Terrace, we can drive over the void and underneath the town. And for some ungodly reason, we could see one of the game's buses glitch out and plummet from orbit. Anyways, you can also drive around the outskirts of the level and watch the chaos unfold. However, there's actually a section where we can ride onto a couple of the game's roofs right near Planet Bowling. And before we move on, here's the remaining bits of the level that I thought were worth checking out. And with that, we make our way to the Springfield Dam. Head on over to this section of the dam, then head to the right along the fence and down the embankment. Now, you want to reverse back up towards the corner of the fence. Try to get your car positioned where the bank angles down to meet the tree line, and if we're lucky, the game should spawn us right out of bounds. This glitch is a bit more on the lame side though, unfortunately, as there's still a buttload of invisible walls out here, so we can only check out this grass patch, just on the outside of the playable area. However, it might be possible to use the pivot technique to clip out alongside the guardrail just up ahead, though I had no such luck myself. We did encounter another minor glitch though, when a nuclear bus absolutely drilled me and got me stuck on an NPC car. Amazing. Anywho, let's go and glitch out of the nuclear power plant. Excellent. This map can be a bit on the disorienting side, so if you want to try this one for yourself, follow the path I take here. When we finally make it towards the Springfield Mall, we can come across a tree nearby that will allow us to clip through a building. This tree is located in front of this yellow building. What we want to do is simply drive over it and into the corner between the two buildings. And like we've learned, use our pivot technique to clip through the yellow building. Once inside, we can actually use the pivot technique again to clip through the far side of the building and even further out of bounds. And boom, we're through. But we're not home free yet though, as there's a specific building we need to get on top of, and the only way to do that is to haul ass and wall ride the invisible wall up. Which, like you'd imagine, is a huge pain in the butt to do, so I'll skip to when I finally do it myself. Hey, there we go! We're free to explore out of bounds now. We actually have one more wall clip at this fence. However, it seems pretty negligible compared to the other ones. Anyhow, let's take a look around out of bounds. Here's a quick aerial view of the level, or, well, at least the parking lot. From here, driving out into the void, we can see on the minimap that it appears we're driving over other areas of the game. Technically. We can't see any of the other levels, unfortunately. They don't seem to be loaded in. Crazy enough though, I managed to find a mountain from possibly the level we're on, or another level in-game. I'm not 100% sure where we ended up here, but bumping into the mountain actually led me to discover this random bus stop hidden underneath a hill. No clue why this is here, but it's very cool nonetheless. And with that, let's take a trip to downtown Springfield. So for downtown Springfield, you need to find this purple apartment building with a parking lot behind it. And as you'd come to expect, come to this corner and start trying your pivot technique. And after fighting with the wall for literal ages, we actually made it out. And like most of the levels in this game, the void is entirely traversable. As well as there's this one mountain we can get some nice elevation from, and actually get a nice view of the level below. Crazy enough, we can even find this out of bounds stream of water, which if you can believe it, we can actually drop down onto it and drive on it. Maybe this was a cut section of the map. This map also features some rooftops we can drive above. And heck, I even managed to stumble upon a random Krusty Burger billboard out here as well. Very cool. And with that, let's move on to our final level of the video, Springfield Mountains. Upon spawning in, stick to the right side of the road and follow the path I take, until you reach this Kent Brockman billboard. When you get here, go ahead and huck a U-turn and then head to this corner. Now, reverse and start doing the pivot technique to clip through the guardrail. Once through, we have to push our way down the embankment, and then inevitably fall quite a ways to the ground below, out of bounds once again. We can once again drive around the entirety of the map, and through all of the crazy large mountains on display. Speaking of, one of the mountains actually has a random road sign inside. I didn't see that until I started recording the voiceover. How cool is that? And lastly, we can even drop down into this small river.
Look at me, I'm free as a bird.
Sadly, it warps you right back in bounds. Lame. And that's how you get out of bounds in every level in Simpsons Road Rage. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace!
Oh, did I do something wrong?